Are you feeling blah? Are you feeling like I don't know what to do with my days, let alone my entire life? Are you feeling stagnated and like you just can't get motivated about life again? If you're feeling this way, then chances are you are languishing. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the symptoms of languishing and what you can do to transition out of that in order to feel motivated, optimistic, and engaged and excited about life again. I'm Keisha Free, your success coach at Unlimited for Life Coaching, here to give you mindfulness and emotional intelligence tips to help you achieve the success in your life in the way that you define it. So, in 2020, we heard the word over and over and over again, languishing. I had never heard this word before, but it's been around since 2002. And it was coined by sociologist Corey Keyes, who wanted to bring an awareness of the middle of the mental health spectrum, where on one end there is flourishing and on the other end there's depression. And in the middle is languishing. Now, languishing is not a mental health condition. It is a stress-related condition. And so Corey Keyes noticed that people were not thriving. However, they were functioning throughout their day, yet they were not depressed. And so he came up with the term languishing. And as I mentioned earlier, this word has been in the media since 2020, where many people are experiencing languishing, or people are languishing. So as we're talking about languishing, I want to share some mental, physical, and emotional symptoms of languishing. Feeling disconnected or disassociated from coworkers, being irritable, confused, or sad, an inability to get excited about projects, difficulty focusing and remembering, that's one of the primary ones that we hear about often, cynicism about your colleagues or the leaders in the workplace, procrastination, lack of motivation, increasingly stressed, an inability to describe your feelings, a feeling as though you are just going through the motions, as if there's nothing to look forward to in your day or in your life, and finally, lacking optimism. So there is your laundry list of languishing symptoms. And if these symptoms are something that you're experiencing, stay tuned. We're going to talk about some ways to transition out of that and get optimistic and motivated about life again. As I was going through this list of symptoms, I recognized that I experienced languishing in 2022, 2021, 2020, actually for 3 years, I was languishing. And it wasn't until last year where I was able to transition out of that. And I won't say that it was something that was deliberate. It was something that happened, that unfolded in my job. I had the opportunity to take on a new task that I'd never done before in any job. But it was something that I loved as a hobby on the side, and that was graphic design. And so as I was working on these graphic design images for the company website, I was tapping into my inner self, my creativity. So things began to unfold for me. I began to get energized over time just from that one step. And as I worked on these graphics, then other things began to unfold for me. And I noticed that I began to feel reconnected to life with more and more activity that was related to my creativity. So don't click off just yet, because I know when people hear the word creativity, sometimes we have a tendency to shut down. We have been taught that creativity is one specific thing, and I want to quickly re-educate you on that. So we've been taught that creativity is about the arts. It's about design, it's dance, it's music. But I want you to understand that creativity is bigger than that. You are creativity. You see, creativity is your self-expression, how you express yourself. And we can express ourselves in numerous ways, right? We can express ourselves through the way we communicate in an email, the way we organize the furniture in our bedroom or in our home, the draperies and the design that we choose for our rooms or our kitchen, the way we prepare a meal, the way we arrange the food on the plate, the clothes that we wear, the words that we choose when we're speaking, and the tones and the pitches and the volume when we are speaking. We are creating all the time. We are naturally creative. And so my observation, my insight, my personal experience is that languishing is about being disconnected from your creative self. So the first step that I recommend for transitioning out of languishing would be to allow yourself to daydream and to use your imagination, because it is within the imagination that is housed within the subconscious mind the creative forces lie. Sometimes they lie a little dormant and we have to get energized and activate them again. So daydreaming could be a first step. And as you're daydreaming, ask yourself the question, what would my new life look like? Because I really think after the pandemic, we are all looking for a new identity and a new way to express ourselves. The old way is no longer working for many of us. And this is why some of us are languishing. We're stagnating because we need to transition. We want to transition on a deeper level into this new identity and this new way of being. So allow yourself to daydream and ask yourself the question, what does my new life look like? What does my new identity look like? And allow creative ideas to bubble to the surface into the conscious mind. So second step would be, I noticed on the list of symptoms, the inability to name or identify your feelings. So again, the feelings, the emotions are connected with our subconscious mind. And by learning to name those feelings, we get in touch with that subconscious mind. We get in touch with our deeper selves and the creative forces within ourselves. And we are able to self-express, which again is about creativity. So step one, allow yourself to daydream, tap into your imagination. And step two, identify the emotions that you are feeling on a regular basis. Just get in the practice of saying, I feel this emotion of sadness. I feel this emotion of despair, whatever it is you are feeling. And by practicing getting in touch with those emotions, you are getting in touch with yourself. Third thing that you can do, going back to creativity, as you are getting in touch with yourself through your imagination and your emotions, what creative things can you intentionally activate within your life? Do you need to rearrange the furniture in your living room? Maybe you need to change the shower curtain in your bathroom or your color scheme. Maybe you want to work on writing a novel, writing a play. How about cooking a foreign food, finding a recipe you've never cooked before and experimenting with different seasonings and different flavors? Go to a place you've never gone before. Go to a new place and experience the sights, the sounds, and the smells of that environment. All of these are examples of creativity. And so number 4, to transition out of languishing, clear out the old. Clear out any old furniture, clothes, dishes, boxes, whatever. Decluttering removes the old stagnated energy in your home and opens up the space for newness. And so oftentimes we're unaware that we are in spaces where objects that we're no longer using are there. However, they are having an impact on our thinking. So when our physical environment is full of clutter and old things, our mind is often full of cluttered old thoughts and beliefs. And the act of clearing out these old items can also help us clear out the old in our minds and create space for that new expression, that new identity, that new way of being. And that is step 4 for transitioning out of languishing. And finally, this is the last step after you've gone through the first 4. Do something that scares you. Do something that scares you. And it doesn't have to be dangerous or life-threatening, although for some people that really gets their adrenaline and serotonin going, and it could shift them out of languishing. But that's not for everyone. But do something that stretches you into discovering new aspects of yourself, new talents and new skills that you may not have even realized that you have. And again, this gets you in touch with a deeper part of yourself so that you can bring forth that new expression and that new identity. And so basically, languishing is about letting go of the old, getting out of this space of stagnation, this holding place, basically, and transitioning into a new way of expressing ourselves and a new way of being. So I've shared some steps with you on how to get in touch with yourself in order to transition out of languishing. But of course, we cannot skip and omit that another important step is to also connect with others. After all, what triggered this languishing was the pandemic and being in isolation from one another. And when I talk about social connection, I don't mean through your cell phone or through your Zoom platform. I am talking about being face to face with one another and being in the present moment. And so that social connection is also an important key for transitioning out of languishing. So first we began with connecting with ourselves and then connecting with others. And we don't have to necessarily do it one step at a time. It can be all at the same time. Just make sure that you are doing the steps, taking the steps to connect with yourself as you are connecting with others again. I hope that you found this video to be helpful. If you did, please make a comment in the comment section. Share this video with someone if you found it to be helpful. And I look forward to connecting with you again in my next video.